This planet is huge. With over 7 billion people and counting, it's no wonder millions of culinary dishes exist. With new recipes constantly being invented and reinvented, there's virtually no end to the amount of food you can eat. However, some of the ingredients in the gourmet galaxy come served with some pretty high stakes. From poisonous frogs to cheese-eating maggots to bean sprouts, yep, you heard me, bean sprouts. Today, we're digging into the top 10 super dangerous foods. Bon appetit, if you dare. Octopus. You've seen them on TV, at the aquarium when you were a kid, or even on shelves at the toy store. The octopus, famous for its camouflage skills, cunning intellect, and overall bizarre and compelling appearance, is beloved by many worldwide. But have you ever tried to eat it? Octopus is actually a common dish in many different countries around the world. In Greece, they grill it, in Spain, they boil it, and in Japan, it's prepared as sashimi, thin slices of pre-cooked octopus with a sweet and chewy taste. Wait, what's so dangerous about that? Did we mention that in South Korea, octopus is often eaten while it's still alive? Imagine eating something you feel squirming around in your mouth. When eaten live, the tentacles of the octopus stick to the inside of the throat, larynx, and esophagus, making breathing particularly difficult and in some cases, impossible. Pufferfish. Remember the Simpsons episode when Homer almost snuffed it? Well, okay, that happens a lot in The Simpsons. However, in Season 2, Episode 11, after Marge prompts him to try something new, he learns the hard way that fugu, or pufferfish, can have brutal consequences when incorrectly prepared. But can we really blame Homer for trying it? Regarded as a high delicacy, this fish has a special chicken-like flavor, which, when dipped in certain sauces, can taste unlike anything you've ever eaten before. This delicacy from Japan requires chefs to train extensively before making it, learning every inch and angle of the fish, so they don't accidentally serve you poison. Fugu contains an odorless and colorless neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin. If a chef serves an incorrect cut, ingested tetrodotoxin induces tightness of the chest, shaking, nausea, vomiting, and extremely high blood pressure. One man who unknowingly ate a bite of fugu containing tetrodotoxin claimed he felt a tingling in his mouth, followed by intense anxiety. If not treated immediately, pufferfish can be fatal, accounting for more than 50 instances of poisoning per year. Cassava. A favorite food native to South America and eaten all over the world is cassava. This drought-resistant root vegetable is perfect for growing in hot climates, and its nutty, starchy flavor makes it an excellent source of calories and carbohydrates for people living in developing countries. In the States, they call it Brazilian arrowroot or manioc, and it is a key ingredient in tapioca. Yum! Bubble tea! To prepare it correctly, cassava root should be peeled and soaked for up to 60 hours, then boiled, roasted, or baked. Why all the prep? If cassava is served raw or even cooked improperly, you run the risk of eating cyanogenic glycosides. Cyanogenic glycosides sounds a little like cyanide. That's because when consumed, cyanogenic glycosides release cyanide into the body. Aside from being a canonical poison in many books and movies, cyanide is no matter of fiction. If too much is ingested, cyanide can impair the thyroid and cause significant damages to nerve function. It can also lead to paralysis, organ damage, or in some cases be fatal. Makes you think twice before eating grandma's tapioca pudding, right? The Namibian bullfrog. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime food poisoning? Michigan J. Frog from the 1955 cartoon One Froggy Evening isn't the only reptilian rascal to be detrimental to human health. The Namibian bullfrog, which has been known to grow to the size of a house cat, is a delicacy served in Namibia, Africa. However, this endangered frog is often eaten behind closed doors due to its rarity and controversial consumption. For this dish, the majority of the frog is served, not including top hat, which can involve eating around several potentially poisonous parts. Areas of the skin and some internal organs of the frog are particularly poisonous, and eating the wrong bite can lead to kidney failure and even be fatal. Some experts say the frogs are safe to eat after mating season and a third reign, when the toxins in the frog are not as potent. Maybe we'll just go ahead and leave them to singing and dancing. Casu marzu. When you think of Italy, you may imagine sipping fine wine in a gondola, rowing down the canals of Venice, eating fresh pasta and driving passenger side in a Fiat or Ferrari. Did you notice how eating maggot-infested cheese is absent from this fantasy? Yeah, me too. However, for some Italian casaros, cheesemakers, this bug's life is a gourmet reality. Casu marzu, which literally means rotten cheese, is a pecorino cheese from sheep's milk with similar taste to gorgonzola. Okay, now here's the kicker. This cheese is also home to hundreds and hundreds of maggots. No, this isn't an accident. In fact, maggots are a key part of the cheese's fermentation process. The cheese fly lays eggs in the cheese, which hatch into hungry larvae who embark on a wild feeding frenzy. The acid in the larvae's digestive system breaks down the fats in the cheese, and when the maggots, drop the kids off at the swimming pool, the cheese acquires its soft signature texture. By the time this casu marzu is ready for consumption, it can have hundreds of maggots living inside it. Unfortunately, when a person eats a live maggot, the maggot sets up shop in a similar way, often camping out in your intestines, which can cause vomiting, cramps, and other unpleasant experiences before leaving your body for good. Though considered an aphrodisiac by some cheese lovers, this famous fromage was actually banned in the EU for its culinary, audacity. But many casaros still make it for themselves. Peanuts. Okay, so I understand poisonous frogs, sticky octopi, and maggot-infested cheese, but peanuts? Well, the good news is, if you've eaten peanuts before, you're probably safe. For now. The reason peanuts make our list is because 1% of the entire population is allergic to them. That's about 75 million people on Earth who can't have peanut butter, trail mix, or Reese's Pieces. Some people are so allergic to peanuts, even being in the same room as a peanut or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich can induce anaphylactic shock. The allergy is caused by a person's immune system mistaking the proteins in the peanuts for harmful chemicals. The body's defense system goes into overdrive, releasing chemicals like histamines to fight off the bad guys, which can cause symptoms such as wheezing, coughing, trouble breathing, hives, and in some cases, dizziness or fainting. The number of children in the US who are born with peanut allergies has been growing exponentially since the 90s and may continue to grow at such rates. Happy Halloween, future kids. Ackee berries. No, I didn't say acai berries, though oh my gosh, yum, right? The ackee plant from Jamaica is not something you'd necessarily want to put in a smoothie. The fruit is popular throughout Jamaica and worldwide, often being sold canned or sautéed with fish and onions. Quite different from an apple or a banana, this fruit's unique buttery taste makes it a highly sought-after ingredient, and when prepared correctly, can be a delicious counterpart to many dishes. However, only the yellow skin of the fruit is safe to eat. See those red berries inside? If accidentally consumed, you can catch what's known as Jamaican vomiting sickness, which has also been known to cause hypoglycemia and seizures. Some patients have been treated with activated charcoal to calm the symptoms. Luckily for consumers, most ackee fruit is prepared correctly due to its international popularity, so risk is pretty minimal. And thank goodness, because that looks delicious. Nutmeg. A common spice in ragu, apple strudel, and lamb shawarma, nutmeg is widely regarded in the culinary world. And it smells great, too. Chances are you can find this spice in your grandparents' pantry, as whose sweet granny couldn't resist making roast turkey or blueberry pie? Don't let the delectably nutty flavor of nutmeg fool you. If ingested in the wrong amount, this stuff can brutally rock your world. Nutmeg contains a little something called myristicin, which, while harmless in the amounts used for recipes, can have some seriously negative results. If more than 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg is eaten, the myristicin can induce nausea, vomiting, and in some cases, hallucinations. The long-term negative effects of nutmeg haven't been extensively studied, and cases of nutmeg poisoning are pretty rare. However, you may want to think twice before going sicko mode on seasoning the holiday eggnog. You might truly end up sick. Mode. Anyway, bean sprouts. Bean sprouts, a paramount addition to pho, spring rolls, and a number of other dishes worldwide. Their satisfying, crispy, fresh texture and consistent flavor makes them irresistible to many diners. Admit it, you probably wish you could bite into a couple right now. The downside to these delectable sprouts is their susceptibility to harboring salmonella, listeria, and E. coli. The moist, hot climate in which they grow best is optimal for these bacteria to culminate, and if improperly washed or even lightly cooked, these bacteria can still do damage. Although, to be honest, I think I'll take my chances with spring rolls. Yummy. Blood clams. Surf's up! Blood clams are harvested in the Gulf of Mexico, Atlantic, and Pacific Ocean. They're known for their crisp, succulent taste and bright red insides, but don't worry, much to the name's suggestion, it isn't real blood. The clams are filled with a rust-colored liquid due to the high amounts of hemoglobin between their shells. Wait, time out. What's hemoglobin? Well, let's just say it's a protein that transfers oxygen to different parts of the body through the blood vessels, giving blood its signature red color. Blood clams also filter over 40 liters of seawater a day. Talk about an unquenchable thirst. If blood clams are harvested in areas with particularly lax sanitation regulations, they have been known to absorb things like hepatitis, typhoid, and dysentery. In some cases, the hepatitis virus has been known to last for up to 3 months in a clam. Due to their capacity for harboring dangerous bacteria and diseases, blood clams have been banned in China, as they were responsible for a recent hepatitis outbreak in Shanghai. However, some restaurants are so devoted to the clam, they have been busted by police for selling smuggled blood clams on their menu. Oh, the calamity! Well, that's all for our list du jour. Are you daring enough to eat any of these crazy cuisines? Let us know which ones you'd want to try in the comments, unless, octopus got your tongue.